TGIF, it's Friday, March 22nd, 2024. As we head into the weekend and as we head into the last week, believe it or not, of March, changes are coming. And we're going to see these changes. We've already seen that for you folks that are in the northern areas with the colder temperatures and a little bit of snow that came in late yesterday, overnight, and early this morning. That first wave heading east and moving out. It's still going to be quite mild for most of the central and southern Rockies and the central and southern plains through today and through the day on Saturday. But everybody by Saturday night and the Sunday and Monday will be much, much colder. A big drop in temperatures coming. We're going to end up with a major winter storm across the central plains. We're going to see significant snow in the highest elevations of the Rockies, although I think the plains adjacent to the Rockies, the Front Range, probably not looking at a lot of snow out of this system, but some. It'll be the cold you're going to notice the most. But it'll be the central plains that really take it on the chin with this storm system. Temperatures and wind chills will be much colder for livestock interests in the region, especially one in calving operations. Be prepared for this big drop in temperature. And really, the next couple of weeks, we are going to have a lot of weather to deal with as storms are lined up across the Pacific to come through. Now, there is going to be a midweek break in the weather after some very cold weather comes in Sunday, Monday into Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday will bring a quick warm-up, only to be replaced by another quick moving low that's going to come in Thursday night into Friday of next week. That is likely not going to be a big storm, but a small, rather intense one that could be a weather maker right at the end of the week. Then there's a little bit of a break, a small one, then another storm system towards Easter Sunday and the following Monday. That could be a large, slower moving storm. So it's about ready to get really busy. The satellite image this morning shows very well what's going on as we've been showing you in the maps this week with the low just off the coast. The blue here is the colder Canadian air that has come on in and the Pacific moisture overrunning it, while we still have high pressure here over the central and southern Rockies. But this guy right here is going to make its move this way by later in the next 48 hours or so, making its move and coming on through, dragging more of that cold air that you can see up here south into the lower 48 states. This is where we have advisories for weather across the U.S. You can see the northern tier of the U.S. from Montana to Maine under lots of winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings for snow. And really, this is only what we're going to see here through the next 24 to 48 hours. This does not include what's coming for this part of the country as we get into late in the weekend and early next week. The brown areas show where the windiest areas are going to be. So some strong winds across the base of the trough. You'll see that normally in this type of pattern. So across the northern tier, lots of winter weather coming. So this is where we are right now. You just saw in the satellite imagery that low. The colder air coming in out of the north, just like this. By Sunday noon, this is around noon Sunday, that broad trough comes off the coast and through the region, opening the door to Canada and starting to spread Pacific moisture eastward and southward into the region. A lot of cold air is sitting up here, right here in this pattern, and just has easy access now coming on in. So we're going to have that big contrast between the cold and the warm here, and this is going to produce severe weather. This is for Sunday into Monday, so we're going to have a big outbreak of severe thunderstorm activity in this region right here where you see the darker green shading and the yellow, and then as we get into Monday and Tuesday, that area will shift east. So we're going to have a major winter storm here, severe weather here. It's March as we have that low over central Nebraska by Monday morning. The way the storm is coming together and the way it's tracking is going to favor those central areas the most. And you can see the precipitation forecast now through Tuesday. There's that next round of heavier snow across Montana into the western areas of the Dakotas, clipping parts of northern Wyoming. Lighter amounts further south, but there's still going to be precipitation. You can see the darker colors right here where the storm really wants to focus itself. And you can see the snowfall totals through Tuesday morning. Now, what I want you to kind of keep an eye on, and this is something you always have to be very cautious of, as these storms come over the divide, a lot of times you do indeed get a little bit of a downsloping hole on the east side of the Rockies because the winds aren't upslope, they're from the northwest. But if the low pulls a little bit more south, a little bit more to the southwest as it develops, you see this area of darker pink, it could end up getting to be more like this. For east central and eastern Colorado, kind of need to watch that. But without a doubt, we've got this next axis of heavier moisture here across the northern areas. Then it gets better organized as it hits the central plains. And you can see the focal point of this storm late Sunday into Monday and Tuesday just walloping parts of southern North Dakota, a large part of South Dakota, north central and northeast Nebraska. That tail coming back could get down into Interstate 80. Certainly Interstate 90 is going to be a problem. And you can see some very impressive snow totals there. That's just this storm coming in. There's more coming as we get a little bit further down the road. Look at these temperature anomalies by noon Monday. Very cold air comes in on the backside. You can see the contrast right here between the air masses, and that's going to lead to the severe weather. So if you look at temperatures, these are the low temperatures by Tuesday morning. Single digits across Montana, the Dakotas, some sub-zero temperatures in Canada. Some of the mountain valleys of Colorado could be going below zero. So this is some really cold late March temperatures. Look at the wind chills. These are the wind chills by Tuesday morning. Hence, livestock interests need to be prepared for that colder weather and the colder wind chills. As we get into the middle of next week, this is Wednesday, the low pulls up here and still is going to be affecting parts of the northern plains, but this little wedge, this little area of high pressure temporarily will come across California into the Rockies by, let's say, the Wednesday, Thursday time frame. So there'll be a couple of days where the weather gets better. Quickly on the heels, though, is this guy. That guy is going to swing in, and while we said it wouldn't be a large storm, these little systems, we call them bowling balls. They end up looking not like a big storm, but they can come through and be rather intense, briefly bringing significant precipitation, another steep drop in temperature, another outbreak of severe weather in the central plains, and on the backside, winter weather in the Rockies as it goes through. So this will be a Good Friday system coming on by. Here's the next one queued up, and notice the ridge building in behind it. That one is queued up to come in by Sunday and into Monday of next week. This one is likely going to come in behind this one later on. So a lot of weather coming. Basically, these storms are spaced about every 2 or 3 days apart. So between now and into the first week of April, the weather is going to be very busy. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you on Monday.